Welcome, family. It is a pleasure to be here. I am the lovely T, also known as Trini, your spiritual personal trainer, and I am here with Maria, also known as Brown Girl Interrupting.
Hello, everyone.
We are opening with season 2, episode 1, and we'll dive in towards the end to fill you in with the other episodes we have done so you can catch up with us. But for now, let's introduce ourselves. Maria, would you like to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. All right. Yeah. So I am Brown Girl Interrupting. I am a blogger. I write and I vlog my life. You can see all the videos on Instagram. And I am Maria, as Trini said, lovely T. And I am a mom. I work in a school system as an educator, and honestly, what I love to do is interrupt, which is why I am the Brown Girl Interrupting, because I love to interrupt. I love to ask a lot of questions. I'm always going deep and reflecting, and I'm taking everybody there with me. And so I am loving that I'm here with my beautiful and amazing co-host, Lovely T. And Lovely T, why don't you tell a little bit about you?
Okay, well, I had started this podcast via Anchor. Some of y'all know about Anchor. And it just started off as wanting to help, wanted to get some topics out there, and let's see who I can grow with more so than teach. So it came, it went, and then I met Maria last year, and I was like, hey, you seem like the type of extra kick I need. Come and join me on this podcast. And she did. And so throughout this time, we have been collaborating and coming up with awesome topics for you guys to just tune in, get with us, throw some interesting topics our way that you want to see. Let's see where we can go. Let's see where we can grow. You see what I'm saying? Let's see how we can understand what's going on. And that's what pretty much how this came about. And we collaborated, and here it is. We are now here. So our topic today is judgment and emotional release.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Judgment and emotional release. So, y'all, if you haven't seen our podcast yet, what you're going to know is that Trini is the guru of the spiritual knowledge, and that is what she's going to break down for you. And I am the experience. So, a little bit more about our story is exactly that she met me and we were connected. We were connected right away. I think I'm concerned that the connection was that she read my aura and said that I was all kinds of fucked up. So, but that's okay, because what she did for me was help me get through some of the hardest times of my life, which is that I 3 years ago separated from a 17-year marriage. I got 4 kids and I'm figuring it all out. And this spiritual guru, Lovely T, got me through all of it, through spiritual guidance and wisdom. And I am here not only as a co-host, but as a product of her work. So emotional judgment and emotional release is going to be some deep work. So tell me a little bit more.
I'm going to tell you more. Well, first, let's define this thing. We can break it down just by defining it. What is judgment? Simple. It's an opinion or conclusion. It all is based on your opinion and your conclusion, right? So let's dive in. I would like to give some references real quick. My material that I am referencing for us to go through and dive deep comes from a book called Right Use of Will. So get that book, read it, and uplift yourself. I'm telling you, it's the perfect thing to do. So everything is a learning experience, we can say, right? So check this out. Denial does not open space for improvement. I'm going to say that again. Denial does not open space for improvement because it denies that which could teach it.
Ooh. Okay, so I caught it. I caught it. You said denial is what's stopping us from growing. That's what I heard.
That's right. See? That's right.
So, okay. So it sounds like we're going to go deep into this. So our judgment and emotional release has to do with our denial?
Yes. Denial is held in place with judgments and emotional control. If you can't oversee or come to an understanding, a factual understanding, logical understanding of your denial, are you going to grow from that? Your judgment, which is negative, no judgment is positive. Your judgment keeps your denial there. You're stuck.
Oh, okay. So I feel like I need to understand more about my judgment and where it's coming from or how it's impacting. How does it make me stuck? Like I need to understand that because I think about judgment. I think about so many ways. I'm judging myself? Am I judging others? And how does it keep me stuck?
Okay. So check this out. Your inner conflicts. The inner conflicts that have been keeping you away have been misunderstandings. The inner conflicts that have been keeping you away have been misunderstandings. However, if true understanding is to come to full attention, come to the conflict that is necessary, meaning you have to analyze, you have to understand the conflict in its entirety.
So, okay, I gotta break this down a little bit more because you go deep, and I'm gonna take it all apart and interrupt it to make it flow in my head so it's flowing for us all to get that spiritual guidance, right?
That's
so
right.
These misunderstandings are from our denial.
Right.
And that denial is stopping us from understanding our misunderstandings, which means, if I'm hearing you right, and you tell me, that we're not really getting to the root of what's stopping us from not having judgment and growing because we don't really understand denial the way we need to.
Exactly. I love it.
Okay. I love it. You got it. So now what do I need to know about judgment then? How do I figure it out?
So think about this word, wisdom. Okay? We know what wisdom is. Think about that word. So past experience equals a source of wisdom. You could say that what you experienced in the past, you gained some wisdom from it, right? And then you have your judgments. But check this out. Judgments is false wisdom.
Oh.
So I'm going to let you hold it.
I'm holding it because I got to tell you, took me to a moment.
It did?
It took me to a moment because that idea that some people feel that their past experiences is their wisdom, but if you are only thinking about the judgment that you have, your it's not really wise. Like your past experience is actually like you circling and going in like this hamster wheel of actually not thinking of the growth that you need to make and really understanding what you need to be wise about, because you're sitting here in your space of judgment instead of real wisdom. But the kicker, and this is why it took me back to a moment, is I was thinking, okay, and so some people are parents. I know you're a parent, right? I'm a parent. Sometimes we have these experiences with grown children who feel they're more grown than they are, right? This is just parenting in general, right? And they feel that they have wisdom, but really what they have is judgment, because they haven't really unpacked that wisdom to know if it's the true wisdom, right? Or if it's judgment on others based on their past experiences.
Yes. Ooh, you cracked that down. The egg got cracked right in the middle.
Those teenagers, those older kids,
I have two.
You know, and all of them think they know more than us, right? As parents, that's just what it is.
That's true. That is so true. That is so true. So let's dive in a little bit more. Judgment also states the next experience will be the same as the last.
That's the wheel. That's the wheel, right? The next experience is going to be the same as the last because I haven't actually grown. I'm still sitting in my judgment wheel.
And what you are? Stuck.
Stuck.
You're stuck and you're trying to figure out why this keeps happening. I think you need a timeout. Let's go do some self-assessment. It's timeout time. You want to know why stuff keep happening? Okay. Well, the judgments is going to continue to happen. The next experience will continue to be the same. And it's because one simple answer: nothing has been learned. And then there would be nothing to learn that could change things for the better.
Oh, we got a question. I love it, my girl Brandy. And how do we get unstuck? So Trini, how do we get unstuck?
Okay, well, you have to recognize where your denial is coming from. So you have to sit there. For example, okay, I'm gonna give you something real simple. I'm gonna break it down. The color of my wall is red, right? But the other day, my daughter came down the steps and she was like, "Mom, why the wall look burgundy?" I'm like, the wall's not burgundy, it's red. Two different colors, red. But because of her judgment, which is a false wisdom, it kept her in that space. So every time she kept coming down the steps is, "Mom, your wall ain't red, it's burgundy." Until she realized and recognized why she was in denial of why this color is burgundy, is because, it is a part of red, but it's just a darker or a different shade that comes from this color. So yeah, Mom, okay, it's red. It's a true red color. I know now. Yes, I agree. She came out of that judgment by trying to figure out why. And when she went down and understood that problem, she solved it. That's just something simple, real simple.
But so when you said that, what I'm thinking about is it's the idea that to grow and learn, right? We have to widen our understanding of what truth can be. So the idea is that, right, she had to widen her understanding that the color red and burgundy are similar, right? Or that the idea that red can be so many different shades, right? Like, so we have to just look at multiple perspectives. And sometimes when we're in a judgment space, we're in the same perspective and we believe that's the only truth and the one truth, right?
That's right.
All right. Oh, we see our boy Ishay in here. Thank you. Yes. What's up?
Hello.
Thank
Okay.
you, Kennedy Williams.
Okay. So are we ready for some more?
We are ready. All right. And Brandy's in. Okay.
Okay, Brandy. All right. So check this out. Judgments are rigid thoughts. For those that don't understand rigid, that's unchanging. You're fixed. You no, I'm not changing. My mind is set. No, I'm fixed. No.
Ooh,
Get out. You in that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Judgments are rigid thoughts. And it forms in an attachment to the thinker. You hear that? It forms an attachment to the thinker. What kind of attachment does it form? Negativity, negative emotions, false misunderstandings, wrong judgments. All of those they're just attacking you. They on there. They stuck.
So they become part of who you are, your characteristics, your personality.
That's right.
So it sounds like the key is mindset. But I think what I also heard you say was the idea that we have to get to the root of the denial to actually shift that mindset. And I want to kind of like, it made me think of something that I want to add in here. This idea of the root to something, because so in the work that I do in my full-time life, right, is I work in a school system, and a lot of times we have to look for solving problems in a school, and we do these things where we just take Band-Aids and throw them over a problem, right? You know, this is the one fix that's going to fix it all. And then what happens to that Band-Aid is it comes off. And that cut is still there, and that problem is still there, and we haven't solved a thing. And so we got to get to the root cause of where it's coming from. And it sounds like in order for me to actually grow, I got to understand, where is my judgment really coming from? What's the root of it? Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck in that cycle of thinking that my judgment is the truth. Or I'm going to fix something that actually isn't the right thing to fix.
That's right.
Okay, so it sounds like we're going into emotional release, which I know this is about judgment and emotional release. So can you tell me more about emotional release then?
Before I go into that, I have to say this about the judgment. If you judge rather than understand, you lock the energy into rigid patterns of perception that take your focus away from what could help you grow, which make your judgments and your beliefs limited. So it goes directly into what you said. Feelings.
Expand.
Feelings of not having enough understandings or personal power are compensated by imposing misunderstandings and judgments that bring an illusion of understandings, power, and control. An illusion, okay? It's in your mind. But you feel like you got this power, understanding, and control, but it's judgments. So it's false wisdom, right?
And oftentimes that false wisdom, because it's power and control, is what we put on others, and we come off as thinking we know things when actually, in fact, we don't.
That's right. So would you like to take a break before I go into the emotional release?
Okay. Hey, do we have anything in the chat there? And we have to give a shout out to our amazing producer. We are in season 2 because we are being produced by Jaw Logic on the iRant network. And thank you, Brandy said, thank you for the example. Brandy, I'm so glad that helps you out.
Yes, I'm glad it helped. And yes, thank you, Jaw Logic. So you want to go for the break?
All right. All right, we are back and we are now going to talk a little bit more about emotional release.
That's right. So let's say, we can all agree that emotions can be attached. It can be transferred. It can be energy that is released in the open and other people can gravitate and grab onto that emotion, right?
Okay. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. When you say emotions can be attached, how does that come out? When my emotions are attached, how does that show in me? What are some ways that comes out?
So let's say, hypothetically, you ran into a stranger and they are crying, their eyes out, devastated. You're going to feel sad for them. They already in that state. They feel sad. So now you grabbed on to that emotion. It became attached. So let's say you walk into the store now after leaving that person and you just have this sad emotion carrying on around with you. And so now a clerk asks you a question. You was like, no, that's okay. Never mind. You became sad. You allowed this attachment to follow you. Right? So that's one.
Okay.
I think that's the only question you asked.
That was the one question I asked, but can I add something? Because I think what you made me think about, and I see, hey, we've got Smiles Network, which is V Smiles, whose show came on before us. Salute. We're so glad to have you here. So, and I see another question. Before we get to that question, because I want to answer that, I'm thinking it's that idea that, like, so when we have those judgments and we are holding on to them, we are actually impacting other people because our energy is being transferred to them. That negativity is being put on others, whether or not we're doing anything to create that.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And wait, I saw Brandy had a question. It went away. I don't know if we could put it back in there because I wanted to see that.
There you go.
Okay.
How do you decipher false wisdom from the truth? Well, you got to break out the facts, baby. We got to get logical, get out our heart and emotions, and get into our logical mindset. So we got to come into some self-awareness, right? We got to really understand ourselves first before we can even dive into understanding how the situation came about, right? So that's a whole new podcast that we did that y'all can check out.
That is hard work too. Self-awareness is a tough one.
It's tough. It is tough. But if you can connect facts with your wisdom, then there's no reason for judgments, right?
Oh, okay.
It can be. It can be. You are correct. However, it hits you, right? It stops you. It makes you stuck, right?
So V Smile said judgment is essential for protecting yourself.
That's right.
I love it. Okay, Geologic's got facts, Smiles Network show, but some prejudge based on surface attributes, and that can be a problem. That is very, very true, right? So there's that judgment we put on others.
Right. That's where those triggers come in. Something is triggering you to have this judgment. So then we got to dive deeper into a different section right there. You got to know what's triggering you. Agile logic. And sometimes prejudging based on surface shit can save time. Well, that's true. But no one knows with warning signs, so we don't know, oh, this motherfucker about to fuck up. No, we don't know that.
So it's definitely a defense mechanism sometimes, but then how do we use it to actually heal ourselves? And I want to say shout out to Behind the Bar. I see my man, the milkman, in here. No Judgment Zone. Thank you. Here to support Brown Girl Interrupting and Better Minds Interrupting. So we appreciate your support, man.
That's right.
Trini.
Yeah.
How do I resolve this? How do I get to that emotional release that helps me heal? Asking for a friend. I'm just saying.
So, letting go. But there's a way to let go, guys. You can't just be like, oh, fuck it, forget it, never mind. Can't be like that to let anything go. You have to address it. Whether you want to face the fact or not, you have to address it in order to let go. So check this out. We about to go in the trenches. You know how we do. We about to get in the trenches.
Trinny's gonna get us all in those trenches. All right.
Okay, so by releasing the judgments you hold against freedom of emotional expression, you know how we like to hold back? Never mind. Fuck it. I'm just going to forget about it. But do you ever forget about it? Is there ever a never mind? Are you being true to yourself? Okay. So you help them show you what you need to do to express. So you got to understand these things in order to express it.
So
being
wait,
open.
I'm gonna stop. Can I stop you? Because I feel we need a moment to unpack.
Okay.
So this whole idea of letting go, you described two different ways, right? There's the fuck it, I let go because I'm like, whatever, I ain't dealing with that shit, right? Or there's the let go where you understand what you're letting go and you're releasing something.
That's
and
right.
It's almost the idea of like the difference of putting something on the back burner and actually like chucking it out, right? Like the back burner is still there.
Exactly.
So fuck it still leaves it there. But letting go while addressing and knowing what you're letting go, that goes back to that root cause. We're getting to the root cause. So I know what I'm letting go.
That's right.
Now it's a release.
That's right. It's a release, baby.
Okay.
You got
Okay. Okay. Look, release is key. Gotta have release.
it. Okay,
Release
so
is peace.
yeah, it is. It's definitely peace. And we all need our peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. All right. Thank
So,
you, Tennessee William. Exactly what she said. Yes.
so being open, right? Hold on before I start. Sometimes the first reaction is the most authentic reaction. That's true. That is true. Maybe. Maybe. But
Oh, really?
that's a different topic. That's a different topic. We'll dive in because how you know that you're in your right mindset? How do you know that you're in
So,
your true mindset?
but so I wonder when she said that just now, like I'm wondering if it's like it's not that it's not true or that it is true. Is it sometimes that like we just have reactions and we're allowed to have reactions? Like okay, so I'll give you an example. I had a couple reactions this week. I had a hella week, okay? Hella emotional ups and downs week, right? And there were moments where I had some reactions and like I'm human. I'm going to have those authentic reactions like V said, right? And they are my authentic real feelings. However, if they're not helping me to grow and do better, and that's what I reflected on, like the three different ones I had, I was like, oh no, should not have said that, should not have done that. So yes, they were real, they came from somewhere, but what I need to get to is that letting go, because I could, if I stay there, I'm going to be angry, I'm going to be resentful, and that energy is going out into the world. And I don't want to be the source of that energy of negativity for others that are around me. Like, I don't want to be the one you saw crying. I cried a lot this week. I don't want to be the one someone saw crying at the grocery store, okay? Like, don't take that into the cash register. So how do we get there then? Yes, we are allowed to have our reactions. Yes, V, we are. But
and you're supposed to. Actually, you are supposed to have those reactions. You are supposed to allow yourself to feel, express. Because when you don't react or have those actions, when you don't do that, you hold the wheel back. You push that wheel down. You're not yourself. You know. So yes, actions are necessary. Brandy said, how do you know you need to release if you are unaware that you're holding? Ooh. Ooh. Keyword. I say a keyword? Key phrase.
unaware.
Why is it keep happening?
That's how we know we're holding.
That, then you got to reassess the situation. If it keep happening, there's a 360 going on, same old thing. It's time to reassess, baby, because I'm going down. That's one true way.
Okay, so we got to let go. We know what we need to let go because it keeps happening. It's that pattern. And maybe it's our authentic self, but it's that pattern and it's the energy that, like I felt like sick to my stomach. I felt unhappy with myself. Like I wasn't my best self, right? Like when we feel we're not our best selves, is that when I know that there's something I need to release?
Yes. You're going to feel that energy. You're going to be like, I don't like the way I'm feeling. You're going to be sluggish. You're going to be behind on things. You're going to be unorganized in your mind, in your life, whatever. You're going to be bothered. Your soul is going to tell you, you need to fix something. Something ain't right. I'm tired of twirling. Okay? So, the real question is, what am I missing? Right? What are you missing? What are you overlooking?
Yeah.
And I got distracted. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, I was distracted a little bit. So we good. We good. So what are we missing? So I got to figure out what I'm missing. How do I figure
Right,
out
you
what
got to
I'm
figure out
missing?
what you're missing.
So
You
now
got to figure
once
out what you need to address. What is triggering you? Why is this happening? It's time to do some reassessing.
okay. So I figured out because I'm paying attention to the way my body reacts. I'm paying attention to my reactions and my authentic reactions and what those knee-jerk reactions are, right? And I've been paying attention all week.
Right.
All week. And they are similar patterns. It's when I feel that I'm being judged or someone else's truth has being put on me as though it is my truth and reality. And that has been triggering me. Right. So we're doing a little spiritual personal trainer right here. Right. So let me ask you, okay. Now that I've identified these things, right? Like I'm telling you, for straight, this is my week. This is what I've identified. Now, what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I let go?
Okay. So what is it that is actually bothering you? All honesty, you need to recognize what it is that is creating this emotion and feeling and what is actually bothering you, right? That's what we need to, that's the first thing. So once you get that and you start connecting the dots, okay, well, I remember when this happened and it triggered this emotion because this situation happened before, and I think it's going to have the same end result. So it is triggering me to react this way. I feel like this because I have no trust in this outcome. Right?
So we got to slow down.
Slow it down.
To think about that.
That's right.
Is that like with writing? Do you have a strategy of how I think that through or how anybody thinks that through, right? Like not just me, but who else can we help today, right?
Right. So I'll tell you this. If you want to be personal, okay, if you want to be personal, you don't want nobody to know, you don't want nobody figuring it out, you need to get you some paper and pen. All right? You need to write this down. I'm not telling you to keep a journal because remember, this is personal. This is something that you just going to have to take mental note. And if you need to do it again, you just do it again. But you're going to write this down, right? And you're going to write my true feelings, the true story, how it came about, how it triggered, and then the outcome you wanted to happen.
Oh.
Okay? Once you put the outcome that you wanted to happen and you assess your own negative emotions, not other people's emotions that is involved in the situation. Leave them out. It's about you right now. So you got to analyze yourself. Analyze how the situation came about. Analyze, well, damn, what did I do for this to even start? And why do I feel a way about it? Is it, why am I wasting energy? It's time to let this go. So let's figure this out.
So
and you have to be true. You have to acknowledge and be authentic and true. Okay?
And so one thing that you just said that I think just made me think about something is I think like, so everybody processes things differently, right? So like writing is one thing. I mean, so maybe everybody don't want to go put a blog out there where they take through all their issues.
Hold on.
Like me. But I think what I liked about what you said, well, I'm just speaking for myself, right? That is my process. But But I think what I really like that you said could be a strategy for other people is that you thought about, like you said, take the outcome you wish you had. Like I didn't think about that this week, but I wonder if for me, if I had written that down, if it would have taken me through all the other steps through that, right? So like kind of going back to Brandy's question, how do we do this? That's one way is like first just go, well, what is it that I wanted to happen and what got in the way to the barrier of getting there?
That's right. And remember,
Okay.
we're not writing a journal. I mean, you could write a journal. You could keep it as a journal if you like. But if you don't want to share it, you don't want no one to find out or whatever, after you've come to your final conclusion, you want to take a lighter and burn it right up. Flames, dust. Okay, out. You just let it go. That means you burned it up. We analyzed this situation. We got our answers now, so time to move on. Okay, time to let it go. We will pow, gone, right? That's one way. And like Maria said, a lot of people don't like writing. Okay. Who other than you know you? You take your butt in a mirror on your own time, by your own self, and talk to yourself.
Oh, I like it. Mike Christie, like.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, Mike Christie said that's an amazing thought process. So we appreciate that. Like that, we're breaking it down. So bettering minds and interrupting your thoughts. Trini, I cut you off. I think we lost that last thought you said. Who better than you? Who better than you knows you? So what do I do? Because I know me best.
Look, I'm telling y'all, I have 6 kids. Sometimes my mind is like all over the place. Okay, so who knows you better than you? Go talk to yourself. You're not crazy. Just don't do it out in the public. Look yourself in the mirror. And this is something me and my husband, he actually brought it up. Shout out to Andrew. Okay. So he brought this up. Can you look in the mirror and say that I am the person that I want to be? Because if you can't answer that truthfully, then how are you going to assess any situation at an honest standpoint view? You're not. So I need you to get to know yourself, start talking to yourself, start noticing your emotions, your triggers. It's time to dive deep. It's time to become aware. That's the second way.
I like that. I like that we have another option, right? Because I do talk to myself in the mirror. I seem to be doing all these strategies. So I must have a lot of shit to unpack, right?
Right. Brandy said I have some of the best conversations by myself with myself. Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
And if you argue with yourself, who cares?
And look, and we are the best damn listeners too. Like I listen to myself a whole lot more than I listen to anybody else.
Exactly. He's behind the bar said, I'll choose it for 25, Johnny.
Yes.
Okay. So, any other question you would like to add or ask?
No, I want to know more.
Okay. So, most of your emotional release, you should be doing, as I said, in a private and safe place. If you fear of hurting others with your emotional expression, and I'm going to pause. I'm going to tell y'all because we're going to go. We're going to go as a family. We're going to go to the rage room and we're going to rage. I know y'all heard of it. But that's a way to release. Just breaking up a bunch of shit. You know how much you're releasing? You're releasing all them judgment. I can't stand this. Pow! She get on my nerves. Pow! The kids hitting it. Pow! You know? It's an expression. It's a way to release. So let me go back into this. Do this by yourself until you feel you're ready to express your emotions in the presence of another. So another way of figuring out a situation is talking to the other people or person involved. But before you do, go on the rampage. Cuss. Go just get it all out. Frustration, anger, talk about the situation to yourself, cuss it out, whatever, before you talk to that person. So that you can be less impulsive and calm because you got it out. That's the third way.
I like that. No, I like that. And I was thinking, actually, it reminded me today. I told you I had a hell of a week, and I was driving by this, like, there's like a Jared's Jewelry that, like, I guess they're all closed down, but it was closed down, and I guess they're starting to demolish it. And for a second, I was like, damn, you know how, like, when they demolish buildings, like, you can go and, like, throw stuff at them, and, like, you can start, like, chipping away, like just take a big old hammer and, like, just not chip, but, like, slam it, right? I kind of wanted to do that in my head. It's what I was thinking. I did not destroy any property. I just want y'all to know. But in my head, I would have. Like, I would have. Right. And part of it's like my body wanted to release it. And I think, that's kind of like how people like have sexual energy, right? It's a release. It's a physical release sometimes to get those things out of you that you are holding on to. I mean, I'm just giving us a fourth way, I think, right? Like
that's correct. That's it. That's what it is. This is how we do the emotional release to get past the judgments, to understand the situation, to get out of our denial so we can become unstuck and so we can grow from this process.
Yes, we need to grow from the process. And justice, Mara, you should have went Antifa Onyx Slam on it. But look, if y'all got it, if anybody's got a big ass hammer for me, like, you might see me like on the street somewhere. Oh, hell yeah, Brandy. Yes, hell yeah. Yes, Ishay.
I can see you with a big sludge hammer.
Kenny said, I told y'all they crazy. We crazy. I mean, look, we're all a little crazy. It's who's crazy you see on the outside is different than who's crazy might be on the inside. I mean, I ain't really go and do anything. I'm just saying I thought about it, though. That's all.
That's hilarious. I think it is time to closing.
I think it is. So before we do, can I ask you something? I want to know how for you, because I think, and you didn't say this at the beginning, but I got to tell y'all that this is the truth, is that a lot of the things that you have come to in your spiritual healing of others has come from your own spiritual healing. So I imagine you've gone through this process yourself, and obviously I'm not quite there. So for someone who's a little closer to arrival, I guess we never really arrive, right? Because we're constantly doing this, right? But you're closer to resolution and peace in your heart. How does it feel different once you've done it?
That is a very good question. Once you've done it, you feel different. You feel yourself. You know yourself, which is key. You know yourself. That's how you know you accomplished. You dig yourself out of that hole. And it's literally a liberation. You feel liberated. And so I'm going to give you some background. So I had a baby sister that passed away in 2011, and it was devastating to me, very. And I went into depression and all that good stuff, amongst other things going on in my life. But just to give you a snippet, and I couldn't see clear. I didn't care, none of that. I was just in my own feelings. blinded, right? So how I couldn't afford, to be honest with you, a therapist. I couldn't, so I'm grieving. There's no free therapists out this camp. Y'all know that. So what did I do? I went into life coaching and took a life coaching course and became certified. And I did not have intentions on teaching anybody. I just wanted to heal myself. So I chose a cheaper option to do so. And I did some self-healing, some self-work. And all due to my oncology family that I got certified through, I had to do the work. In order for me to do the work, I had to be honest with myself. I had to come up with, okay, why is this triggering? Today, as I was thinking of the fourth podcast, no, I'm sorry. I was doing my psychology paper. And the question was, what was your favorite movie? Simple, right? And I was like, Road Bounce. Because me and my sister, we was close. That was the last movie we shared together. And bust out in our jokes and all that throughout the movie. All night long we watched this movie while I was braiding her hair. You know how long braids take. We watched that movie 30 times at least. So it was a memory that triggered. And I remember not knowing what my favorite movie was. I didn't even want to acknowledge that I even had a favorite movie. I had one when I was a childhood, but right now I don't have a favorite movie. Why? But I did. I pushed that denial down. And I just had, that just that one simple question, just brought it out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So going back, doing the work, and seeing how I feel afterwards. Because I used to be quick to anger. Now I'm quick to think. I used to be impulsive. Now I'm like, something ain't right. I used to not question. Now I question. I used to not dig deep. And now I do. I used to not see how I could be the problem. And now I do. I always put me first in deciding how to get out of my solution, my problem. Because remember, family, every problem has a solution. So don't stay in it. And that is that story. And that's how you can get out of that from my perspective.
Thanks for sharing. Like, I think, one, I'm really sorry about the loss of your sister. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I think, one, just your vulnerability to share things that have impacted you, right? Like, that's a lot. It takes a lot. But I think even in this process, vulnerability is really important. We have to be vulnerable even to ourselves, because sometimes we hold that in and we're not vulnerable to ourselves.
That's right.
And that's where that honesty takes us out of denial. And I think you're a product of recognizing like the impact of it, like how that can really help you heal, because there are so many people out there who are struggling. I mean, I'm one of them, right? We're all struggling.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And yeah, we're all struggling, right? Oh.
Okay.
So the question is,
pro cannabis.
not to keep y'all, but what's your thought on self-medicating of the cannabis kind? Look,
okay, so like I said, pro cannabis is safer than any other. Okay, I'm not gonna go too deep into it. When you're mature, you use it for all the right reasons.
Yes.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
And I'm gonna add on that one, yes, natural, right? It's natural, and I would say almost legal everywhere. So yeah, I'm totally good with it.
And it has a lot of healing properties.
It does. And I would say for some of us, like for me, I know it's how I get to talking to myself. Like it is my release. I mean, like, okay, so I'm coming off as a crazy woman here. I know that. So I'm like, yo, I swear I'm sane. I swear I am. But seriously, like it's yes, yeah, I think Shay knows. I'm sane, right? But it helps me to go deeper. Like I'm able to see the things that I otherwise am stuck in, these patterns of cycles that I'm not seeing when I have a little help from a friend. Like that's it, right? And again, it's almost legal everywhere. So like that is just what it is, right? But so before we leave though, because I know we got to close it all up, I want to say that all of this has made me think about a post I wrote. And I know you read this already, Trini, but if you haven't checked it out yet, on Brown Girl Interrupting, as I said before, like I am healing through writing, and that writing is very public. So I am the poster child of vulnerability. Like I am putting myself out there, good or bad, and it's actually mostly bad, but it's healing, and hopefully it's going to help others heal too. But I wrote a post called Recognize, Release, and Reframe. So if you want to go a little bit deeper in understanding what we mean by letting go, I kind of break it down a little bit, not Trini level, but in my way of adding to some of these elements of like, yeah, recognize what we need to change, and then reframe release that thing, and then reframe our mindset to think differently and change our thoughts, because changing our thoughts changes our lives.
Ooh.
You like that? You like that one? Girl, I got some nuggets here and there.
I see it.
Just a little.
I don't know about just a little.
Okay.
So would you like to tell them what our topic is for next week?
So I'm gonna throw that back to you because my memory. I don't have 6 kids. I got 4, but yeah. Right. I'm gonna throw it back to you. Full honesty and vulnerability. I didn't do my homework. I'm sorry, Mom. Thank you, Brandy. Vulnerability is beautiful. Yes, it is. Thank you, Brandy.
Vulnerability is beautiful. When you can show that you can have some kind of compassion, and you can be open and honest without hurting anybody, emotions. It's good to be vulnerable. It lets people know what you're saying. And it's an easy way to set up a boundary. We have a podcast that we talked about.
Y'all gotta check that out. Boundaries. Boundaries is a deep podcast we have for sure.
Yes. Okay, so hold on for a second. See, Maria set me up because I didn't have the title for next week.
Wait. Okay, so wait a second. How did I set you up when it looks like you set me up first? So I'm just saying, girl, sister, I returned the favor is what I did.
Okay, so next week's podcast is about wasted energy and how it affects you. Hold up, I'm sorry. Yes, wasted energy and how it affects you as an individual. That's next podcast. So, we gonna dive deep into that topic too.
That's gonna be a good one. But in the meanwhile, what should they check out for you, Trini?
For me, you can check me out on my Instagram, Better Mindz LC. You can also check us out on our YouTube channel, Better Mindz, to check out our old podcast that we have done. I'm also coming up with some stuff, but I'm not going to tell y'all yet until I finish it.
All right. All right. And for me, you want to see a little bit more of Maria or Brown Girl Interrupting, go to my blog, www.browngirlinterrupting.com. I literally write about everything under the sun, and you'll just, you'll hear a little bit of some of the stuff we talked about. I write about boundaries too. I write about a little bit of everything. And follow me on Instagram. I vlog and tell you about my whole life story. Yesterday, I went to Drag Bingo with Brandy, who was on here and been like in the chat. I love it. And that was fantastic. And check me out on YouTube. So if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, check out the other videos. I just got nuggets of information that sometimes come to me and I feel I need to share them. So comment, share your thoughts. Definitely interact, just like you did just now. Interact with my work, with my writing. I love it. Thank you for the bite-sized conversation. Thank you, Brandy, for being like in this conversation with us and pushing us. I loved it.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you, the milkman. Great show. Thank you. Our minds can only go as deep as our breath will allow it. We need to sign off right there. That's the perfect quote. Thank you so much, Brandy. Loved it. Thank you, Trini. Of course, I missed this. This has been our first podcast in forever. And thank you, Logic. Because you are the man for making this. So I got to say, when y'all go back to our podcast, they got a lot of good information, but they don't got Logic's production. So this is fantastic. So thank you so much. Thank you for the time and breaking it all down, Trini. I love talking to you. You know that.
Yes.
Thank you, Tennessee. Love y'all and be safe. And live to talk shit another day. Always.
That's right.
Always. That's why we interrupting.
What they say, same bat time, same
bat channel. See y'all 9 o'clock Thursday.